70-year-old Robert Thompson opened his refrigerator door, and his hand froze. There were 4 containers of tofu sitting on the shelf. Did I buy this yesterday? Looking at the new package in his hand, he felt confused. He'd definitely gone to Kroger yesterday, but the memory wasn't clear. Or was it the day before? 3 days ago, as Robert pushed the new tofu into the back corner, his chest tightened. What's wrong with me? What scared him more was what happened a few days earlier. He couldn't remember if he'd taken his blood pressure medication. Looking at the pill organizer, yesterday's slot was empty, but he could have sworn he'd taken it. He ended up swallowing another pill. That evening, the dizziness hit him hard. Walking to the bathroom, he had to grip the wall to steady himself. When his oldest son Michael called, Robert barely managed to sound normal. "Dad, did you take your meds today?" "Yeah, I took them." It was a lie. Or more accurately, he wasn't sure. At Thanksgiving, things got worse. His youngest daughter Sarah had to repeat the same answer 5 times. "Dad, Michael came yesterday." 10 minutes later, "When did your brother say he was coming?" "Yesterday, Dad. He came yesterday." Another 10 minutes. "Is Michael coming today?" Sarah smiled while answering, but she cried in the kitchen afterward. Eventually, the family took him to the Mayo Clinic. The doctor's diagnosis came down cold and clinical: early-stage Alzheimer's disease. Michael's face went white, and Sarah covered her mouth with her hand. "However, he can still manage daily activities. But you absolutely cannot leave him alone." Those words pierced Robert's heart. "I'm under surveillance now." In the car ride home, Robert just stared out the window. Nobody spoke. Silence filled the entire vehicle. It was raining that day. Robert ate lunch alone at home and decided to take a shower. The bathroom floor was slightly wet. "Gotta be careful." Thinking that, he stepped forward, but in an instant, he slipped. Whoa! His body jerked backward and hit the floor hard. The moment his wrist caught his fall, he heard a crack. Pain rushed through him. "Ah, ah." He tried to get up, but his body wouldn't cooperate. His wrist throbbed where it had twisted, and his ribs sent dull waves of pain with every breath. How long had he been lying there? 30 minutes? An hour? Robert lay on the cold tile floor, staring at the ceiling. "Is this how I die?" That's when the doorbell rang. "Robert? You home?" It was his neighbor, Mrs. Chen. When there was no answer, Mrs. Chen called the building manager, and they opened the door together. The moment they found Robert collapsed on the bathroom floor, Mrs. Chen screamed, "Oh my God!" Robert rushed to the emergency room. Robert had a fractured wrist, cracked ribs, and bruises all over his body. Michael, who'd raced over after getting the call, grimaced the moment he saw his father. "Dad, I told you not to stay alone." Sarah arrived soon after. "Dad, how much does it hurt?" Robert turned his face away. He didn't want to talk. Out in the hallway, Michael and Sarah stood face to face. Michael's voice came out low and tense. "We need to make a decision before something worse happens." "Michael, what do you mean?" "Assisted living." Next time he could hit his head. Sarah's face went rigid. 1 week after discharge, Robert stayed home with his wrist in a cast. He couldn't eat properly, couldn't use the bathroom easily. During that time, Michael had been quietly making moves. He'd called 5 different assisted living facilities and scheduled consultations. Sarah only found out by chance when she stopped by Michael's house. There were assisted living brochures spread across his desk. "Michael, what's this?" When Sarah picked up a brochure, Michael looked flustered. "Oh, you're already looking at facilities. Did you even ask Dad?" "Sarah, face reality. We can't be there every single day. So you're just going to dump him?" "I'm not dumping him. Professional care is better for Dad too." Sarah's voice trembled. "Better how?" "Children are supposed to take care of their parents. You only deal in ideals." "I've got work. I've got kids' college funds to worry about. I have 2 kids too. But is caring for your parent really that much of a burden?" Their shouting echoed through the house. In the next room, Robert pulled the blanket over his head. Even covering his ears, he could still hear them. "I've become a burden to my kids." 3 days later, Michael pulled up in his car. "Dad, let's go for a drive today." "Where to?" "Just want to check something out." Sarah came along too. The car left the suburbs and headed toward the outskirts of town. About 20 minutes in, the car stopped in front of a large building. The moment Robert saw the sign at the entrance, his heart sank. Meadowbrook Senior Living Community. Here, Michael answered. We're just looking around. Sarah sat with her lips pressed tight. A care coordinator greeted them warmly. Welcome. Feel free to look around. The facility was clean. The hallways were wide and bright. But the sounds coming from every corner weighed on Robert. Nurse. Can you help me here? Mrs. Johnson, you took off your Depends again. The vacant eyes of residents in wheelchairs. An old man dozing against the wall. Music played in the activities room. But most people just sat there expressionless. The coordinator explained. We have daily activities and physical therapy available. Michael nodded. Robert peered into one of the rooms. A small bed, a small closet. The window looked out onto the parking lot. It's clean. After saying just that, Robert turned away. The car ride home was even quieter. Robert looked out the window and thought, this is where I'll die. 2 days later, Michael came by again. Dad, what did you think? Robert didn't answer. Sarah jumped in. Michael, didn't you see Dad's face? He doesn't want to go, but he said it was nice. He said it was clean. Does that mean he wants to go? Michael's voice rose. Then what's the alternative? Can you come here every day? I have kids too, but I'll do my best. Your best? How many days did you come last week? You didn't come once. I have to work. I'm the one paying for the facility. Sarah shouted. You think money solves everything? What about Dad's feelings? You're all emotion. Look at reality. The fight went on for over 30 minutes. Robert closed his bedroom door and buried himself under the blanket. He covered his ears with his hands, but the voices kept coming. His chest felt crushed. Maybe it'd be better if I wasn't here. That night at 11 o'clock, Sarah knocked on her father's door. Dad? No answer. She carefully opened the door to find Robert sitting by the window. Dad, aren't you sleeping? No. Sarah sat down next to him. Silence hung in the air for a while. Dad, do you want to go to that place? Robert slowly shook his head. I don't want to. Then, but watching you two fight is worse. Sarah's eyes welled up. I want to stay home, but if you're struggling, maybe that's the right thing. Robert's voice trembled. When your mother passed, I saw how hard it was on you both because of me. Now I'm becoming that burden again. Dad, you're not a burden. I am. I fall. I can't remember things. Robert covered his face with his hand. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Sarah broke down crying. Dad, don't say that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Robert just kept repeating those words. The two of them sat there crying for a long time. The next afternoon, Sarah called Michael over. Michael, we need to talk again. Sarah, I've already decided. Did you hear what Dad said? Michael went quiet for a moment. What did he say? Watching us fight is what hurts him most. He said he's a burden, that he's sorry. Michael's face twisted. Dad said that? This isn't our decision to make. We need to listen to what Dad wants. After a long silence, Michael nodded. That evening, the three of them sat around the dining table. Michael spoke first. Dad, I think you need professional care. If another accident happens, it could be really serious. Sarah added. But sending you right away seems too rushed. They both looked at their father. Dad, what do you think? Robert touched his cast. Then slowly, he opened his mouth. Just a little longer. I want to stay home. Robert's voice trembled but was firm. I know. Someday I'll need to go, but not now. Michael started to speak, but Robert raised his hand to stop him. But when that time really comes, I'll be the one to say it. Sarah wiped her tears. What I really want though, is for you two not to fight. Robert looked at both his children. When I'm gone, it'll just be you two. What happens if you're not speaking? Michael reached out his hand first. Sarah, I'm sorry. Michael, me too. They clasped hands. Robert smiled for the first time in a while. Things changed starting the next day. Michael arranged for in-home care services, and Sarah scheduled visiting nurses 3 times a week. 4 safety grab bars were installed in the bathroom, and non-slip mats covered the floor. Emergency buttons were placed in the entryway and bedroom. Robert looked out the window and murmured, thank you so much. On his cast, Sarah had drawn a small heart. Next to it, Michael had written, stay strong, Dad. There's no single right answer when it comes to caring for aging parents. Assisted living might be the answer, or staying home might be. But what matters most is that the parent's voice is at the center of that choice, and that in the process, family members don't end up hating each other. That night, Robert fell into a deep sleep for the first time in weeks.